Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Bat Châtillon 25 ton Van Tank. It's the tier 10 French medium tank. I almost said premium medium, but it's not. It's actually a medium tank, and it's located on the southeast spawn of Empire's border under the command of Cross of St. George. Now, as you may have noticed, Cross of St. George doesn't like to use premium ammo. He prefers to play the game with just standard ammo and get great results without using a single round of the premium stuff. He's loaded with 30 rounds of APCR, and that's standard ammo for the Bat Chat 25 ton. Two prototypes of this tank developed in the 1950s. It was supposed to be a light tank for the French with virtually no armour, but incredibly fast, and with a devastating 105mm gun capable of doing 390 alpha with 5 shots in a clip. So basically it was an assassin tank. It would go around taking out enemy tanks with withering fire. That was the word I was looking for, withering fire, and then immediately disappear because it was so quick it could get away before the enemy could do anything. Well, he's found another enemy tank, and it's another French tank and another medium, which is almost as good, and that's the Barrasque that he just got wiped out. And there's another Barrasque, and yes, he's finding out to his chagrin, that's another good word, that yes, the Bat Chat can be quite deadly, and he's out the game. So first kill for Cross of St. George, standard ammo, and he's got an awful lot of damage there, 1,250. He only got 4 shots in. Ow, he took a round from the M46 there. He only got 4 shots in, not 5. Missed 1. He could do a lot more damage with this thing. And oh, now he's taking rounds from another 105mm gun. Very similar gun, because of course it's the same gun that's on the EBR 105. Okay, he's turned around, so he's going to go into this side of the valley. Now he's taking a risk that Barrasque is going to have another go at him. Where is he? Let's have a quick look. Can't see him. That Barrasque is somewhere down below him, I think. Okay, Sixth Sense hasn't gone off. He was unspotted for at least a few seconds, so he would have gone unspotted. He's going to try and get into a position where he can attack the enemy tanks going up the hill on the east side of the map from behind without them being able to do anything about it. Well, the Emil's telling him to come back, but actually I think no, he's doing the right thing. Come up behind these guys and they're going to be really annoyed because, yes, look at this, he's going to punch holes straight through them. And now they're in a whole world of trouble. And that T-55A takes 1 round. He's now 1 shot. And he does fire 1 back and he gets it in. But only gets 285. And he's out the game. Now it's got great burst damage, this tank. It's got speed. It's got acceleration. It's very low profile. So it has camo qualities. But the problem is, as I said, it doesn't have any armor. It has a very long aim time. Very long reload and very poor gun depression. It's only got 6 degrees, so you really can't use this as a ridgeline warrior unless of course you turn the tank around, poke it up over the rear ridgeline looking to the side to get artificial depression. It also has a very low ammo count. It's only got 30 rounds to start with, so you only got 6 reloads and then you're out. Well, 1 shot was all it took, and he's taken out the Progetto 54. He's going after the Barrasque who hurt him before, and he's taking damage, and this time the Barrasque won't be able to do much about it, and he's out the game. And now, now it's the K91's turn, and he's out the game as well. That's 5 kills with standard ammo. Just using the abilities of a Bat Chat 25 ton to literally monster the enemy. There's only 2 enemies left. A Carnarvon and an Object 907, and there's the Carnarvon. So he needs to use the terrain and the rocks to his advantage if he can. He's been spotted. The Carnarvon's probably going to have a go at him because he'll definitely penetrate a Bat Chat 25 ton. But I think we've got enough tanks here that he's not going to get victimized. He's looking at him now. Let rip. And there's the kill. Amarak. There's only one tank left now, the 907. He's way down south. And there's more than a few enemy tanks around him, or our tanks around him. So, yes, Cross of St. George decided he's going to sit in the gap and wait this one out. Because the 907 has gone. And that is the end of the game. And what a game that was. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first class tanker for Cross of St. George in the Bat Châtillon 25 ton. He actually hasn't had a first class before, so he's got the scrolls underneath to show this is the first time that he's had a first class. It's very difficult to get an ace tanker in the Bat Chat 25 ton because so many people have it, and so many people play it and play it well that they manage to hog and push the value you need for the ace tanker really high. So you'd have to do a huge amount of damage, and that's why most of the time when you see this tank being played, it's played with premium ammo so that the players can maximize the amount of damage they can do, and that makes it more difficult for everyone else to get an ace tanker in this vehicle. He did get a demolition expert because he blew the Carnarvon apart with one of his rounds. He got a Reaper badge for getting at least 3 enemy tanks in a row, as well as a fire effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7. Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemies. And finally, yes, he got a Top Gun. When he killed the Carnarvon, that was his 6th kill. And that was very well done indeed, because he was just ploughing through the enemy with standard ammo. 4,858 was the win 8 score. That's very, very high. Super Unicum for a vehicle being played with standard ammo. So let's have a look at team score. Well, there you go. Look, he's top of the damage table, 4,295, but he didn't get an ace, a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, but he did get a Top Gun. And the second highest damage in the game actually went to the enemy 907, another premium OP medium. Yes, because there are a few in the game that Wargaming have put in, except of course this one is a reward medium for being a very good player, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cross of St. George has one of these, or if he doesn't have one, that he will get one shortly. And the third highest damage in the game went to an Object 277, that was for 2,996 hit points. When it came to kills, yes, he's got that with 6 kills. The next highest scorer being the 907 with 3 kills. The T57 Heavy managed 2. The Char Future 4 got just 2. And when it came to base XP, well, he's a little down actually on this one because the Skoda managed to get 1,125. Well, mainly because he's tier 8, and obviously being a tier 8, he's going to earn extra XP for all the higher tier tanks that he attacks. And the Carnarvon managed 1,102. Again, for the same reason, that's why he's going to be higher. But with a massive score, and because he was tier 10, he still managed to do very nicely with 1,067. So he wasn't that far behind the lead scorer on XP. Did very well. And there's a big gap between him and the next one down the line. The other Skoda T56, who obviously didn't perform quite as well as this Skoda did. Cross of St. George fired 15 rounds, got 15 direct hits on the enemy and only 14 penetrations. It was only that one round that didn't actually pen and do him some damage, where he fired all the other ones and he got them right on target, but one round didn't connect and didn't do what he expected it to be. And I mentioned that one, he only got 4 shots in out of the 5 in the clip right at the start of the game. 4,295 hit points of damage, of which 1,313 were at a distance of 300 meters or more. 5 hits received from the enemy, 4 of them penetrated, 1 non-penetration. You're going to see in the armor model that this thing really is very, very light indeed. Well, total weight or max weight is 28 tons, but its empty weight is 25. It's got virtually no armor. The best armor on it is 60 millimeters, so anything really that touches it is probably going to go straight through. He did get 1 non-pen though, and I think that was a round that actually hit the tracks of the vehicle. 360 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, 9 capture points right at the end before the 907 bit the dust. 60,479 credits on a premium count, 50,000 for completing a mission, and 110,479 credits altogether after repair, ammunition, resupply. And remember, standard ammo, no premium ammo used in this game whatsoever. And he still ends up with a massive profit of 77,407 credits. He managed to get 7 bonds because this was tier 10. 1,600 XP times 2 for the first victory, took away 3,201 experience points altogether. So the Bat Chat 25 ton. Let's have a quick look at the armor profile of this thing. Well, I think you can see from the collision model that 60mm on the upper plate, actually well angled, so it comes out at about 115, 120. Well, about 115 actually. The lower plate is only 50mm. It's not so well canted back. So unfortunately for the Bat Chat, if it was canted back a little bit more, I don't know if they could get the transmission right, but if they did, they might get a better effective armor because it's only 50mm down below. You can see the drivers here because that's where the driver's ports are. It's it's one of these tilting turrets. So obviously it does have to have this problem with this join between the turret and the actual hull, or the bit of the turret that actually moves around in the turret ring, in order to get the elevation on the actual gun. And of course you can see there's the drivers, not the drivers, the gunners ports there, and the commander, and there's the bustle right at the rear of the vehicle. Now if we look at the rear of the armor, yeah, 30mm at the rear, not much difference because of course it's fairly flat. The engine's up front actually, it's on the next to the driver, and the sides of the vehicle 40mm, and really not much protection. Let's have a look at the collision, the live model, because obviously that other viewer did like to see this sort of thing, and it does help, I suppose, for some people. Here's the hitboxes, you can see it, and well, if you take the tracks out of it, you can see that it's fairly flat, slab-sided on the sides, but it's so well angled at the front that that's where it makes it very, very easy for the shells to bounce off. But you can see that cupola is a sore thumb target, really. But then it is fairly easy to penetrate through the turret anyway. Look at that. You're getting impacted armor 70mm, but actual armor is coming at about 90 because there's a slight angle on the turret there. So that's the armor model. Let's have a look at the modules. Well, there you go. There's the engine and the transmission. Transmission's up front. I did say that the lower plate couldn't be canted anymore, really, because there's transmissions in the way. And there it is right next door to the driver, with the engine next to the driver, and the fuel tank is actually right at the back of the vehicle. I suppose in a sense that means that if a shell does penetrate through the front of the vehicle, it's not going to get the fuel or the ammo as it would, say, on a T-54. It's actually going to hit the engine, which is going to slow you down. And of course, if you get hit the driver, it's going to slow you down as well. But if you look at the back of the vehicle, you can see there's the fuel tank on the one side, the ammo rack on the other. The bustle actually contains the autoloader mechanism, and of course there are shells in there. You've got the tank commander here and the gunner on the other side. Actually, I got it wrong. Those viewports are for the commander, and of course the commander's also, I believe, acting as the loader, loading the shells into the mechanism. And he's got the radio in front of him, not behind him. And yes, so it's the gunner on the left hand side and the commander on the right hand side, but of course that would be because of the cupola there, so you can look out and around. So there you go, that's where everything is in the Bat Chat 25 ton. Well, that was a pretty amazing game there by Crosser St George, and I'm sure he is going to share with us the ace tanker they inevitably will get in this vehicle, and it'll be a doozy of an ace tanker when he finally does get it, because of course he will do it with standard ammo throughout, and because that's what he likes to do. He doesn't like to pay for premium ammo, and he loves to be able to actually do it with just standard ammo every time. And I know so many people rely on that number 2 key to boost their skill. He doesn't have to. He's got the innate skill that comes with playing the tank again and again and again and getting it right. And that's why he gets so good, and that's why he doesn't have to use the premium. So well done to Crosser St George. If you enjoyed that replay, give it a like. Please do subscribe to our channel. leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and of course let other people know that we're not taking any profit from this channel at all at the moment, because we're giving it all to the Red Cross Ukraine appeal to help the refugees coming out of the wars. So the more of our videos that you watch, the more that you're sending to the refugees, so you are actually helping by watching our videos. I know you have to put up with listening to my crappy voice. I know it really is bad. I really make I make people like Quickie Baby and Jingles look true professionals, and I know they like to downplay their abilities, but they are very good at what they do in their content creation. But please do tolerate my voice just a little while, and you'll be sending money to the refugees, and we post the proof so that you can see that that's where the money's gone. Thanks for watching.